up, guys? It's your girl Angie. We're just gonna go with that. I think the whole "you know who I am" thing is old Angie energy. First of all, happy Easter, Sunday, April 5th, and Easter, of course. I don't know who all's celebrating or what everybody's doing, but things are a little different in our family this year, without grandma or my mom being here, but it's okay, right? Like, life changes and we're gonna get through. But with that being said, I know that I announced earlier this week or last week, whatever you consider your end of the weeks, that I was going to be coming back to vlogging, and I am. So, and I'm going to be consistent, and we're going to do this regularly, because I really feel that that's going to keep me on track and help build what I'm trying to build, or what I am building rather. I don't know, I thought I moved the lights, so I guess you guys just have to kind of deal with the reflection of my glasses, because I don't want to take them off, because then I can't really see. So I do want to kind of stay on track, and because I am going to start trying to do edits and trying to like make my videos look a little cuter, I want to keep them a little shorter. I know some of you guys are like, oh, thank God she never shuts up. There goes the M word. Do it when I'm nervous. So before I get into the normal content, I did want to touch base a little bit on why I stopped. Why I stopped vlogging, why I stopped taking pictures without filters, why I stopped trying, if you will. Confidence hit me. Sparing the details. If you know, you know, and I won't have to say anymore. Oops, that's my, sorry. I was in a rather unfavorable situationship that left me very hard on myself, left me feeling very unworthy, it left me feeling very ugly, took me back to, well, if I was skinny, I wouldn't, I'd be treated better, if I, all the things, the fat girl mentality. And it got to a point that I couldn't stand looking at myself in the mirror again. So here we are, all of me, and on camera with no filters, because I realize I'm trying to build a community and a brand that's going to help women who are hiding in the dark like I was. But how can I do that if I'm filtering who I am? How can I tell other people, especially other women or men who are in the same confidence era? I just say women because most of my stuff's like girly, so men are more than welcome. But how can I tell other humans, be confident in yourself and glow up, if I'm like, don't look at me, I'm fat, don't look at me, I'm ugly, don't look at me, you know what I'm saying? So no more hypocrisy. That was a tongue tie. I'm sorry, y'all. Bear with me. It is 6:30 in the morning. I've been up since 3:30 because I just couldn't sleep. So, with that being said, that's why I was off camera, because I just really got to a point that I couldn't stand looking at myself. So, anyways, we're back. We're better. And now for the regularly scheduled programming. So what I've done is I'm a couple weeks ahead of the game, because I was going to try to do a daily like fitness blog of the low impact exercises that I'm doing. I can't keep up with that. It's just too much with everything I have going on. So anybody who saw that, I kind of flopped on that, but that's okay. So what I've developed is I actually have, and I was going to print these, but I didn't. So hello to my tablet. That's my weekly glow up checklist. Are there at my honest check-ins. And here's monthly. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually use these because they were designed for me, but also for the Glow Up Guide. I'm going to use these along with my handy dandy notebook, which I have kept track of my exercises in every week, what I've done or how many I've done or everything. And as I fill this out, I want to go on a vlog and tell everybody what I'm putting into my boxes. Because this is the part of the journey with the weight loss that it's important to stay consistent, but it's more important to stay honest. Anybody who's been down with me since before 2017, in 2017, I started a whole, I did Weight Watchers and I was on top of it, and I dropped 70 pounds in the year, and I was doing it. And I will tell you, the biggest key for me was the honesty. Too many times I say, I don't know why I'm not losing weight. Knock, knock, because you ate that thing Oreos yesterday, because you're drinking soda every day, because you're not moving every day, whatever it be. So honesty is this week's. is this week's topic on the blog, if anybody reads it. You know, it's not about the workouts. It's not about how much you can do. It's not even about consistency at this point, because even if you miss 6 out of 7 days of the glow up, right? We'll just call it the glow up guide because that's what it is. If you miss 6 out of 7 days, if you're honest about it, that's your starting point. That's where you are. Okay. So you can't commit to 2 days a week. Fine. Let's commit to 1 and let's start there. Or you can't commit to a day. You can only commit to taking 10 steps. When I tell you my rock bottom left me in bed for 15 hours plus a day with 400, there were days that 400 steps was a lot. There were days that I don't even want to be brutally honest. There were some days that I literally walked to the bathroom and back twice because I wasn't drinking anything. I wasn't eating anything. I was eating all the bad things, but I wasn't active. My body wasn't functioning as it should. So I'd go to the bathroom twice in a day and that's all I could do. That's okay. If that's where you are, then start where you are, but be honest about it. You have to be honest, because if you say, oh yeah, you know, I did get up and move around probably 4 or 5 days this week, and you didn't, then when you do try to hit it, you're going to feel like you're failing because you're not doing it. Just be honest. And I think that a lot of weight loss plans I've been on, exercise programs, PT, not where I was this last time, but they expect you to be like, all right, boom, get up and do 10 squats or 20 squats. Like, oh, it's only 10. Hello, if you're 353 pounds, which I was, and you have 7 herniated discs in your back, or however many, I can't remember now, and a torn meniscus, there's no way in F word, we're trying not to cuss around here. There's no way in heck that you can do just 10, right? So what I've done is I've given myself grace, and I've said, okay, you know what? If I couldn't do 10, then I would at least do 1. If I was walking 200 steps a day, tomorrow I'm going 201, and that's it. And that's how I clawed myself from where I was at 353 pounds, not able to get out of my bed, would not go to the store because I couldn't walk from the car to the store, let alone around the store. There were times that when I did go to the store, I'd be in tears at the checkout, like in tears. My brother would have to like scan items for me, or Megan came with me. My best friend came with me. They would have to scan items for me because I couldn't bend. I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything. I hurt so bad. Now, I went to the store 3 times in one day last weekend. Like, forgot something, went back. Oh, I want to go back. And that's where I came from and where I am. And I really want to emphasize that, because I didn't keep a record. I didn't keep a vlog. I didn't keep anything when I was in those lowest moments because I couldn't. And I want to be able to reach out to people who are in those moments. And even if you're not that bad off, even if, I don't care if you run 10 miles a day and you're like, man, I need some motivation. Like, I'm your girl, right? So anyways, all about being the truth. If you want to read more, I have a really great blog that I post on the website, glowupvibery.com. And it just talks about the things that I couldn't do, the things that I did, and how I really took that honesty and I built from it. I started with, this is where I am. That's where I want to be. But this is where I am. And this is the first step I need to take. So with that being said, I'm trying to keep this under 10 minutes. And we're almost there. So it's going to be a little longer than that. But week 1, all I did was 10 squats. There we go, just 10, right? I did 10 squats and 10 wall push-ups. That's it. Well, standing up, sorry. That's all the actual exercise I did. I had a step minimum that I wanted of 2,000 steps a day. You heard me right, 2,000, not 10,000, 2,000. I was averaging about 9 to 1,200, sometimes obviously higher, sometimes not. Then I have these great exercises that I learned in PT, and I should have brought this. I got a little TikTok shop find. This little guy, right? Which you guys will become familiar with that. I do these on the bed. I can't lay on the floor because obviously the back. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exercises that I do in the bed. And I will put together something to show like what they are. But I just do them. And so I did like hip hikes. I did 20 and then 20. I averaged 3,000 steps that week. Boom. I nailed it every single day. Week 2, I just added 2. So instead of 10 squats, I did 12 squats. And I'm not going to lie to you, that extra 2 on the squats and the wall push-ups, oh, buddy, like, I would have thought that I was dying. And then 2 to everything. And then on the stretches, if I was doing 20-second stretches, now I hold for 22. Just like that. Step minimum for week 2 was 2,500. I based my average off of the previous week. So as you see, I went from 2,000 and I bumped it up just a little bit. Well, I motivated myself and I hit 3,600 that week. Cool. Week 3, and this is where we are now. And we're not going to go through all the weights and stuff this time. But week 3, I'm going to take about 2 minutes to go through my little checklist with you, and then we will wrap it up, and I will throw this on the interwebs. Wait, I sound so old. I'm sorry, y'all. It's been so long since I've done this. And I'm nervous. You can hear me, like, rambling. That's that bubbly right there. I've been off soda. Side note. I've been off soda for, I don't even know. I'll have to go back and check because I stopped tracking once I got to like 160 days or something. But I don't drink soda. But I do have a horrible addiction to bubbly. Anyway, so without further ado, my monthly or my weekly glow check-in. Honesty is part of the glow up. So this week, oh, I didn't write down my starting weight. Okay, we're just going to do from the year start. So this week, my starting weight from the year, this year was 332 pounds. I had lost just about 20 pounds between last year, over the course of last year. So 332 pounds was January starting weight. This week, I came in at 319.2. Oof, sounds so embarrassing. Like, I don't want to cry on camera. But we're not crying. We are celebrating. That's 12.8 pounds down. January, February, March, 12.8 pounds down. That is very healthy and very great. I'm proud of myself. Proud of myself. The numbers where we start where you are. We start at 332. It's okay. How I feel this week. I had so much energy this week. It was ridiculous. I don't even know where it came from. I don't know how. I was exhausted by the end of the day. Like, I was spent. But yeah, I definitely felt good. My eating habits. I did eat regularly. However, I did find that I was skipping lunches and then I would eat like way too much at dinner, or worse, I would snack after dinner and not on the healthiest of things. I drank enough water. That I did. I could probably step it up. I usually drink at least one of these. It's my fancy little Stanley. I drink one of those at least, and usually one of these. So, I don't know, that's like 48 and 12 is 60. That's not quite enough, but if you know me, you know that's a lot of water for me. I had moments of emotional eating. I did not eat emotionally this week. I actually ate when I was bored. I think that's what the nighttime snacky was. If I would have just took my butt to bed and, whatever. I made mindful choices. I did. I very heavily weighed my options. And even though I didn't make the greatest, I did at least like mentally say, okay, like that's not a good option. I mean, you really didn't need those Thin Mints, Angie, but come on, Girl Scouts are out there so good though. And I gave myself grace. Yes, I did. Movement, days I moved my body. I nailed that every single day this week. Type of movement, I did all of my exercises. The easiest movement for me this week, and we're going to cover this in the wins too, was the wiggle parties. Just wait a second, I'll tell you about the wiggle parties. Hardest movement. Oh gosh, the thing I just showed you. So what you do is you put your feet through those loops, you lay on the bed, and then you pull your legs up like in a crunch. Whew, I was working the core, my thighs, my arms, everything. That was the hardest. New movement this week, the wiggle party. With that being said, we're going to move right along into the wins. I have a stand-up desk. This is my work desk that you guys are at right now. Ooh, now you're going up, now you're going down. Oh, that's actually nice. Anyways, I put my desk up, and when I was working on everything that I needed to when I wasn't on the phones, I turned on a little background music, and I just wiggled. I mean, I can't dance, right? No rhythm. But I just wiggled. I just danced. I moved my body, and I felt so free, and that's the first time in a long time that I felt free, that I was like, ooh, I can actually move. Okay. Not even thinking about the fact that this registered as a workout. It counted as my step counts. And when I checked my step counts a little bit later, I'd realized I'd been standing for over 2 hours and working like, and then when a call would come in, I would literally, even though I couldn't have the music playing, I would still, as I'm on the phone, like, thank you for calling, da, 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 I'm moving. For the first time, aside from the fair last year, because that I did, for the first time in over 8 years, I hit 10,000 steps yesterday. That was huge for me. When I looked at my step count and I was at 6 and I was barely done with my shift and I'm like, 6,000? What? Is this thing broken? Like, what? And then I realized, and then I was all over the place. 10,000 steps. That was my biggest win this week, was those wiggle parties really got that movement in. What needs more love next week? I need to not skip lunch. Like, I need to get that down, because then when dinner comes, I'm just starving and and I need to fix that next week. My glow up goal for next week, we are just adding 2. I think that's what we're going to do again. So it's going to take us to 16 squats, 16 wall push-ups, 26 hip hikers, 26 side to sides. That's where you lay on your back, put your knees together and side to side. 26-second leg pull-ups. That's where you lay on your back and you pull. I have instructional videos that I'm going to make. It's just hard because I'm in such a cramped room, but you just lay on your back and pull your knee up to your chest, basically. And you just hold your leg there for 26 seconds. 14 hip raises. Hip raises, you lay on your back, you put your knees up, and then you lift your hips. So you're like, or whatever. And then 16 resistant band crunches. That might be the end of me. 16, 14 had me like, but with that being said, that is the plan for next week. That is our weekly honest glow up. That is our coverage of our blog. If you want more details on that, definitely hit the website. And I think that's it. So until next time, I hope that everybody has an amazing holiday, a great Easter. It's nice and sunny here in Spokane, Washington, and we're going to get outside and enjoy the weather. So thanks again for following my glow up journey and being part of the Glow Up Vibery, especially to the ones that were down since Fat Girl Rock Bottom. And even before that, you know who you are. Also, side note, I am looking for a couple of people to to be on the Glow Up Vibery street team. So I've got a few little things that I've got in store that I'd like to get out there in the community and start really getting a community of people who might only be doing 400 steps a day. And I want to help them celebrate that 401. With that being said, I'm out of here. Catch you guys on the flip side, or whatever I say to end these things. Mwah.